point game, and then, you know, things got much tougher for them. What did the Hawks do to kind of take away some of the things that were working earlier?
I think we kind of took it away from ourselves, you know, with our spacing, you know, with our slot cuts, post feeds, baseline cut to open up the middle of the floor for Kawhi. And we didn't do it, you know, consistently throughout the game. And so, like, we just got to do things the right way. Like we talked about before the game, spacing is important for us. We talked about taking care of the basketball. You know, we had 16 turnovers for 26 points. Talked about offensive rebounds, you know, which we did a better job throughout the course of the game. But Capella had 5, you know, in the first quarter. And then we talk about fast break points. They have 31. You know, so those are things we got to lock in and be consistent with every single night. Like, those are non-negotiable, and those help you win games. And so the things we talked about before the game, we've been talking about the last 2-3 weeks. Tonight was an example. If you don't do that, you know, anything can happen.
I guess we're going to answer my question. But you guys get down 29. No disrespect to them, but you guys are playing for a lot more. Why was it such a bad basketball by you guys?
When you don't execute what you're supposed to execute, then anybody can be beat in this league. And so, you know, Hawks, they have good players. You know, got a great coach in Quinn, and they're going to play hard. They're going to compete. And so, if you don't take care of the things you're supposed to take care of on a nightly basis, anybody can be beat in this league. I don't care who you play. And we talked about it the other day. We said this is a bad. All of them are losses count no matter what. So it's not a bad loss of who you're playing or what team. They're all professionals, and they all play. And so if you don't play hard and compete, and you don't take care of the things you need to take care of on a nightly basis, you could lose any given night. And so tonight was one of those nights.
For a veteran team, effort, going after 50-50 balls, stuff like that, shouldn't...
Well, can you get to 50-50 balls? How about that?
I mean, PG talked about effort being a big issue last week, but he said he couldn't pinpoint why it's an issue. For a veteran team like this, it's supposed to be fighting for something in a couple of weeks. Like, why are you guys struggling to do all those little things, give effort even?
No, I think we give effort, but I think it's not a 48-minute thing. You know, I'm not saying we're not, you know, giving the effort. We definitely can play harder for a 48-minute stretch. You know, it can be 32 minutes, or it can be when you get down. And, you know, that comes with a veteran team. You know, you think we can turn it on, but these teams are young, they're fast, and they're turning it on from jump ball. You know, so we got to be able to keep up, and we got to be able to match that. So, nothing to overreact to. Like, the guys in the locker room, they understand what we need to do. A coaching staff, we understand what we need to do. If we want to get out of this, if we want to be a team, you know, doing something special in the playoffs, you know. But we talked about when we was winning games, we got a long way to go. And I told you, we have things we got to do consistently every single night. And if you don't do that, you can consistently get beat by anybody.
You mentioned, you know, this has been talking points for a couple weeks now.
No,
Yeah.
longer than a couple weeks.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
after the Minnesota game, you said it's been a couple years now since you've been here, the offensive rebounds and the transition stuff. But does your confidence in what this team's ceiling is waver at all when, you know, it's the same message about the same problems year after year and seemingly week after week?
Yeah, my confidence doesn't waver. We have a great team. You know, we know we're a great team. We play to that potential of being, you know, 26-5 and beating some good teams. But right now, like you said, we got to do the necessary things to get out of this rut that we're in. And so it starts with playing hard first, every single possession. It starts with executing on both sides of the basketball. Defensively, you know, understanding if you're the low man, be the low man. If you're supposed to box out, we just told you 3 or 4 guys are crashing now. It's a different league. It's not the same thing. Teams are playing for extra possessions. So, you know, when shot goes up, you got to box out. You know, when Zoo goes for a block shot, guards, you got to crack back. You got to help them. You know, transition, shot goes up, guys, you got to get out of the corner. You know, things we talk about every single day, we show on film. We just got to execute them, not for 20 minutes, not for 28 minutes, for 48 minutes. And so you're not going to make shots every night, and we understand that. But you can do things the right way. Slot cut, post feed, baseline cut, getting back in transition when the shot goes up. Those things you can take care of every single day, and that's what we got to do for 48 minutes if we want to be a good team.
Coach, I'm just curious. You play with Shaq and Kobe. You coach Bron, who are all vocal leaders. And when games happen like what they do tonight, sometimes I feel like it's out of your hands. You can call timeout, you write up stuff on the clipboard, but as you touched on, guys know what they're supposed to do when they're on the court. Does it take one of those guys being in each other's ear, the 5 guys on the court, to execute what they're supposed to do?
Yeah.
when it's supposed to be done?
And they do that. You know, I see them doing that throughout the course of timeouts, and they're talking and communicating. But, you know, we got to do it, you know, and so it comes from me, it comes from the coaches. We all on the same page. We understand what we got to do. We just got to do it for longer stints. Not, like I said, not 24 minutes, not 28 minutes, like 48 minutes. Just practice good habits and do what you're supposed to do every single night, every possession, you know, and so that's what we got to get to. We were there before. We know we can get there. We understand that, but like the mindset has to be for 48 minutes, you know, nothing less.
Two more.
How do you balance what happened tonight with the, just, let's just be real, the schedule is what it is. Guys are, hitting that point of the schedule. And also just, like, you let Kawhi, James, Paul play through something that I've seen you sit those guys down and let the younger guys kind of finish games out or show that they can bring a comeback to. What was the difference between letting those guys finish that game with where you're at in the schedule?
Yeah, just, you know, James has been out for a couple of games, just trying to find our rhythm together again. And, you know, for me, like I said, just developing good habits. And, you know, you're not going to play great every night. And, you know, I've constantly said that the last 4 years, like, but you can do the right things. And that's what we got to do. It's not about making shots. Of course, if you don't make shots, you don't win. And you can feel better about if you do things the right way on a 48-minute basis, you know. And so, you know, I don't feel good about tonight because we didn't do the right things, you know. And so there's nothing to get upset about. There's nothing to get mad about. We keep talking about the same things over and over again. So we got to be able to execute those things if we want to be a good team. And I keep saying it over and over again. So with that being said, taking care of the basketball, transition defense, offensive rebound, and spacing. Those are the 4 things we got to consistently be good at every single night.
Ty, how do you get them to hear that?
They hear it.
Okay, do it.
Oof. Oh, man. You know, they do it in spurts, and when they do it, it works. You know, and so, you know, just when you have so much talent and you have guys that can do it so easily, they don't understand that your talent is great, but you need the talent's got to be for the team as well. And so those are important. Like, just because you work out hard individually, you do things hard individually, like, you got to do it for the team. And so we do it, and it's just inconsistent. So maybe I got to do something a little different. You know, maybe it's me. You know, maybe I got to do something a little different to make sure that we're doing what we're supposed to do. And but they understand. Like I said, we're a veteran team. They know what we were supposed to do. And like I said, I'll never overreact to nothing. I'll never really overreact because I know we're a good team. I know we have great players. I understand that guys have carried teams, been done in their own regards, different ways. But if you want to win, I know what it looks like. You know, I've been there. I've seen it. I know what it looks like. And you can also do the right things every night and not win. And you can, you know, you cannot advance in the playoffs. But let's start by doing it right first, and then we can adjust from there.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Let's get ready for Hoop Jab.